You are wounded. Don't touch me. Your arrival here is a bad omen.
The action games of yesteryear evoke a particular sense of nostalgia, and the Darksiders franchise perfectly encapsulates that era. These classic hack-and-slash adventures bring to mind a time long past, so seeing a newer release, even if it's only a port, does still instill some excitement. The latest effort is a modern console release of Darksiders II Deathinitive Edition, God I hate saying that, on PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Open the portal. You will not pass while I live. So be it.
In Darksiders II Deathinitive Edition, you step into the role of Death, one of the legendary Four Horsemen, as he embarks on a quest to redeem his brother War's name. War was the protagonist of the first entry, which runs roughly parallel to this game's events. The general scenario and premise are a decent enough hook, but the drearily delivered narrative and padding, especially in the second half, won't do too much to compel wholly new players. Much of the intrigue, at least for me, stems from the connections to the first game. Gameplay takes center stage here, and Darksiders 2 remains one of my favorite entries to date. The game boasts satisfying puzzle designs and exploration that echo the strengths of the first title, but on a grander scale. Combat is genuinely addictive, especially once you unlock more abilities and experiment with the skill trees. The smooth animations and combo freedom during encounters are continually gratifying. There's also a greater focus on RPG elements due to the sheer amount of collectible loot. Customizing Death with varied armor sets, weapons, and skill upgrades allow players to create their own unique experience. While I enjoyed the constant discoveries of random gear and find it relatively fulfilling, this aspect might not appeal to everyone. Darksiders 2 differentiates itself from the first title's ambience and setting by opting for a more expansive series of environments. Admittedly, a decent portion of it is just empty space meant for traversing on Death's horse, Despair, yet it succeeds in establishing an appreciated sense of scale. Death's agility and acrobatic feats make exploring the world engaging, allowing players to navigate like never before. However, to be entirely candid, Darksiders 2 hasn't aged well in its stagnated approach, which I generally realized the longer I played this port. If I hadn't played the previous iteration years ago, I could imagine not wanting to bother with its pacing at certain points nowadays. Many of its strengths are counterbalanced by transparent faults and shortcomings that require an open mind to overlook. The enhanced release will likely primarily appeal to dedicated fans itching for a replay, especially with a recent tease of a mystery entry by the developers. On the PS5, players can enjoy a range of new upgrades including 4K resolution, ray tracing, and improved lighting and shadows. Granted, given the game's age, these features can only provide so much, but they do give Darksiders 2 a refreshing coat of paint that shines nicely in its modern age. Additionally, DualSense support has been implemented to provide immersive haptic feedback, making each Death's attack and ability feel in your hands. It's worth noting that on launch day, owners of Darksiders 2 this edition on PS4 will receive a free upgrade to the PS5 release. For Xbox owners, purchases of the game on Xbox One will automatically unlock the new features of the Xbox Series X or S version via smart delivery. Despite my moderate level of enjoyment, I'd still hesitate to recommend this release unless you have a notable affinity for action games from the early 2000s to mid-2010s. Its monotonous open worlds doesn't do its bland exposition any favors. Nevertheless, the combat, customization, and puzzle design may win over the more patient types. Further, this release includes all DLC integrated into the game, offering a total playtime of probably more than 30 hours. And while this boasted port doesn't offer compelling reason for most to revisit Darksiders 2, if you're a veteran fan or someone new to this series curious about Death's journey, there is enough justification for giving this release a whirl. Just be prepared to navigate some of its dated elements along the way. Noisy Pixel is giving Darksiders 2 Deathinitive Edition, got it, a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.